Okay, so I am here with Dani, who is one of my amazing and magical clients. And I just wanted to talk with you. Like I just want to chat with you for a second so that people can like really get more of an understanding about like actual practical application, because some of it is very like, okay, magic, what does that even mean? So I really wanted to have this conversation with you to talk about like kind of where you started, and then
Yeah.
what are the results that you got based on following the method and the process?
Mhm.
And then kind of like where you are now. Cause like we were just saying off camera, like just us doing this video feels very full circle to the
Yeah,
work that we've done together, a lot of the work. So if you want, just
definitely.
maybe give like a little bit of an introduction to who you
Yeah.
are, and then kind of talk first about like where you were when you started
Yeah,
the program, and maybe like why you were
definitely.
even drawn to it.
Yeah, of course. So my name's Danielle Pender. I'm a virtual assistant, and I met Sarah through Instagram last year. Definitely, I followed you right away. I loved how you showed up for your business, and I had just started my own business. I was about maybe only 4 months in when I came across your page, and I had invested in becoming a VA, so I knew what it took to invest. You most likely show up a lot more for yourself when you actually pay the money because you've already committed that little bit of it. So I knew what it was like to invest and show up for myself in a business and start a business. But when that all closed and ended, I realized that entrepreneurship is a huge self reflection of how you feel about yourself. And I was surrounded in a group of a bunch of girls during that coaching time. So I just really missed that. Like I knew I needed to invest in something else, getting another coaching. But I knew it was probably deeper than just my business. Like I just knew my business was one reflection of how I was feeling about myself. So
I love
when
that you
I,
knew that
yeah,
already, because I feel like sometimes people think it's just about the business and they
yeah,
aren't realizing how much of a reflection all of it is. Yeah. So I love
yeah,
that.
I think that, and honestly, I think that even took time. Like, I think when I started with you in August, I was thinking, okay, like, this is going to be good. Like, I already loved all of your podcasts. So I knew you were always about body image and just the subconscious mind. Like, I just knew I was like, okay, if I started like peeling away the layers of my life, like, there's definitely stuff that I've just forgotten about or pretended to forget about that I could see is reflecting me now, like as an adult and as a business owner. Like, if I'm not showing up for myself, the only person I could ask was me. And so I just definitely, I knew I needed to get into some form of coaching. And then you were just the perfect person. Like when I heard about this program, I was like, I need to just go for it. And it was like, this started in August is when we kind of originally started. And when I think about like what I wrote on paper, like today I was reflecting a lot before our call. I was like, it's insane. Like I'm showing up now for myself what I was writing even in August. Like, and it hasn't even been that long, but you actually have to sit down and do the work. And like every day you need to do the work pretty much, to make sure that it all kind of happens. But it starts with like the workbooks and really like mapping it out. Like, and because I am a dreamer, that was like my favorite part because I got to just think about where I wanted to be and really write it out in all the workbooks. But it's pretty crazy that it's kind of all like coming full circle. And I'm seeing how powerful that step really was to being here right now.
So you're seeing it come full circle. Let's talk a little bit about what that's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So full circle, like, oh my God, I was just writing down before the call in so many ways. Like this whole coaching and academy has really changed my life because it's back that sisterhood feeling, like when we have group coaching calls, like it's been a month without them and it feels like it's been a really long time and we're all already like missing each other. Like I love hearing the updates, and feeling like I'm not alone in this kind of lonely situation. Like entrepreneurship can be lonely, not everybody chooses this path. So even to have all of that feels very full circle, and just how I'm able to show up like now and do the interview and on all of my discovery calls with future clients and like even with family, like putting boundaries in place, like just so many places I've like actually became my higher self, and it's crazy.
I love
It's
that.
crazy that it all
So
happens. Yeah.
what about like specifically business results? Were you able to take the processes and apply them to business? And what has happened as a result of that?
Yeah. So my business, I felt like it was good when I started in August, but I still knew that I could be doing a lot more. I could be showing up in different ways and not playing small. And so doing all of your audio tapes and the workbooks and just the coaching calls made me really realize like what you talked about today, like fear, like everybody has fear. That's probably never going to go away. But do you choose to let it like overpower hopping on a call and potentially having a new job opportunity? Or it honestly changed. Even when we talked about, even if a call doesn't work out, like even a fail is still a win because I'm actually deciding to take that step forward. So that's something I've always held on to. And then just even like with business, like booking clients, it feels like just because my mindset's changed, like nothing's even really changed on my page, but every day I'll have a message on Instagram, or I don't know, it just feels very aligned. And
I
I
love
don't, yeah, like I don't feel like I'm scared searching for clients. Like I feel like I know they're going to come to me and the right ones will. And what doesn't work out was never meant to be for whatever reason. And just having that trust has made it just be a lot easier.
And the fact that like nothing has changed on your page, but
Yeah.
yet you still keep getting messages in your inbox about
So weird.
like
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
I know it truly is like the universe does, I feel like, have your back. So when you actually like get into that good place and that good rhythm, and then I honestly think things just started happening like weird things. Like I in my mind palace I always thought about my hair, and then I went out after Christmas and I got surprised with getting my hair done, or like really weird little things that don't seem like a big deal, but I just kind of put out there and then have been happening slowly. And now I look at the overall picture and I'm like, wow, like even looking back to my notes from August, I'm like, things I wrote is now like my daily routine, like things I envisioned, like even down to like taking vitamins or what I'm eating, like little details like that. I said I really wanted that in August, and then now it's actually just my habits. Like it's really crazy.
And so this is a random question, but did
Yeah.
your when you kind of got that full visual of your higher self, was
Mhm.
having highlights a part of that?
Yeah. When I wrote back, I said I had blondish hair. Like it was weird, down to everything, really.
So
But
that's
then again, oh, sorry, you could
no, I was
go.
gonna say, I feel like that's one of those things where you're like, you kind of set that compass, set that GPS,
Hmm.
like I talk about, and get the visual of what you show up like, what
Yeah,
you look like. And then it is crazy how, like, then you like got a random gift card to go get your hair done. It's like,
I
that's what I
know.
mean by magic, because you never even
Yeah,
know how all of it is going to come together and how all of it plays out. But it's just
exactly.
setting up for it and then aligning, right? And you did the daily
Yeah,
work of
yeah.
doing audios and changing the internal part of it. Like it's not just you just show up to the coaching calls, which I think
No.
the coaching calls are a big
Yeah.
part of it, and it's all of it, right? It's the community, it's
Hmm.
the aligning, it's the vision and
Yeah,
action where like
exactly. The action's so important because without it, I mean, you're just wishing for things. But if you're not actually like even again, I was listening to back on our tapes, which I love because we have access to them all the time. So like all the time I go back and forth between modules depending how I'm feeling, or like what I feel like I need to listen to again. Like, and even this morning I had on about just like, I feel like I almost need to reset again. Who do I want to be in a couple months down the road? Like, this is something I'll do for my whole life probably, but almost even every 6 months, I feel like I want to start again from scratch, like doing the workbooks, replanning out. Because I feel like I am that person I said in August. So, like, why not raise the
you're
bar? Like,
evolving, you're continuing to evolve,
yeah,
and like you do a 12-week and then you're
yeah,
like, I'm not that same person anymore. Now I feel
exactly.
comfortable. Yeah. I
Exactly, which is so cool. You can keep
yes.
leveling up. Like, that's the thing, there's no limit on anything. Like, And that's what I've realized for sure the most in this program, that just pretty much it was myself, keeping myself from like playing big out of fear, but like listening to the audio tapes and realizing certain things, or like releasing certain things, like it all has come exactly hand in hand. And then actually going out and doing the action, it's just, it'll happen. Like you have to do the work. It's not easy. Like some days are harder than others. Like some days I know I just need like a total reset, but my bounce back time is super fast. Like if I feel my mood crashing, which is bound to happen in life, like things can happen, I can feel myself stop myself and be like, nope, we're not even, like, don't even think about it. We are not even doing those things that will make me feel that way. Like, let's go for a walk or listen to a podcast or like whatever else will switch back into my higher self and that good vibe. It's just crazy that I can catch it now, where before I could maybe go off for way too long and not even realize that
Because it
I'm
can
not feeling
spiral
the best.
out so quickly if you don't have
Yeah,
the tools to just stop it in its tracks.
exactly. And it feels good when you stop it. And like even on all of our coaching calls, I think all of us girls have learned to do that. Like sometimes even in our calls we'll catch ourselves, but it's exactly having the tools and then knowing what I need to do to switch it. And especially the mind palace, like that is a place I think that's so important. And I've realized even this morning when I woke up that I think my mind's even going into it without the audio tapes anymore,
Oh my God.
because I'm having these mornings, yeah, where I'm like picturing, like even down to our call and everything. It's just it's kind of like surreal. It's a weird feeling, but I feel like all of my thoughts are just like, I'm realizing everything and I'm processing it all. It's not like just jammed full of old stuff, if that makes sense.
And you're realizing too that you're the creator. And then
Yeah,
everything that you're constantly out picturing is what you then are starting to create if you're doing it consistently.
exactly.
And so you can either create
Exactly.
what you don't want by continuing, the old thought patterns,
Mhm.
or you can start to create new things by creating.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one last thing, what about,
Mhm.
'cause we have a module in the course that's all about money, and you had commented on
Mhm.
that it was one of your favorites. So
Yeah.
did it help you kind of shift your relationship to money? And
Yeah.
would you talk about that just a
100%.
little bit?
Yeah, yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. I'm so happy you added that in, because I didn't realize that a lot of my thoughts about money were like maybe not even my own thoughts. They were passed down to me through fears through my parents. So even connecting that two things was a little bit like, whoa, weird. Like I never even thought about it in that much depth. And I realized that when I was getting bills and things, that fear was making me shut down. And then I was having lack of money, or just spending my energy the wrong way, like worrying about where I'm going to find the money to make this bill paid or whatever, instead of actually just like, now it's totally switched. Like I get it. I'm like, okay, I got it. Like the money's going to be there. It's all figured out. And then sure enough, that'll be the day, like, that my client will end up paying me for a package, or I'll get like a PayPal with money. Like it's always working out. And I know it feels weird, but I just know that it's going to work out. Like it's just when you have that feeling and when you're open to it and you're open to receiving it in different ways, like you would be surprised that that
That's
day you might
magic,
get
right?
a check. Yeah, you might get a check in the mail of like unexpected money from the government, or like just like weird little things, or maybe you'll actually find money in like one of your coat pockets. Like it doesn't have to be, sometimes it's just around you, you can't even see it, if that makes sense too.
And you know what? I used to hear that all the time, right? Like
Mhm.
I had heard people talk about sometimes maybe you'll get a check in the mail for, and I'd be like, whoever gets a random check in the mail?
I know.
This would never happen to me. And then all of a sudden I was like, but what if it did? And I swear to God, I got, and it wasn't even a big check. I think it was like $6 or $7 or whatever. It was like a
It was something
refund for
else.
something that I was just like, holy crap. Like,
I know. And it is funny, see, like you could almost close yourself off to that. Like, and also too, when you read other people's successes, like you just have to believe it can happen for you too. And then that's when everything starts changing, when you're just open to everything, to learning, to like the audios, the workbooks, like if you don't commit to anything, then you're never gonna see change as a result. So even though it will be hard work because it's like self-work, and some things are hurtful to bring up, or some things you don't even want to admit that you're doing, like forming new habits, all of that stuff takes work, but it's like the most rewarding work you'll ever do. And investing in yourself is never a waste of money or time. And especially when you pay for a program, it will push you to show up, opposed to like freebies or free courses every once in a while, because I don't know, it's just a different feeling when you're actually committing 100% and saying, I'm going to go for it for this amount of time. And
Yep.
it doesn't even have to be a long time to make like this. We only started this in August, and I feel way ahead of when I did then. And like, I'm booked out with my services, like all my client work, I've landed jobs in.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
Yeah, booked out with a wait list, which is what I wrote on my thing. It's just crazy. Like, you can definitely do it, and all of the changes with your help and all of your tools, but you do have to do the work.
It's you.
In order
I
for it
always
to
say
change.
that. Like, I'm the guide, and I
Mm-hmm.
laid out a formula, a roadmap, the tools, and I
Yeah,
give it all to you, but it's you. You're the one
exactly.
creating all the change, all the shifts, all the magic. It's you.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Mm-hmm.
me so freaking excited to do what I do, is because I'm
Yeah,
empowering you to do all of the things that you want to do, and have the life that you want to have. And that makes
exactly.
me so passionate and so excited for other people to experience that. So I so
Mhm.
appreciate you showing up and sharing this with everybody. So what would you say, last question, what would you say
Mhm.
to somebody who is like, okay, I kind of want to do it, but I don't know, will it work for me? And they're like on the fence, like,
Mhm.
person.
You just oh my goodness, just jump already. Like, it's not a coincidence that you're even in this group or watching this video. Like, that is what you want. You're surrounding yourself with who you want to be, and just to do it, like, take the jump. It's going to be scary. It's unknown, but there's such a supportive group of women like in the group ready for you that we've already been doing the work. So we know what it's like to start there and where you can end up, and just to go for it, because time is so important. And this time you could be spending working on yourself and getting to that place, so that by the summertime you are where you want to be, and you're not still just sitting in that place of fear thinking, oh, I wish I could do this, or why, woe is me type of thing. You could literally have it all. You gotta start.
Beautiful. Thank you
Yay.
so much. I love you so
You're
much.
so welcome. I love you too.